Hello friends and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're going to make spicy steak bites with peppers. So this is a really easy recipe to make, and the best thing about it is you don't have to have really expensive beef to make it. I basically just took a cheap cut of beef and cut it up into cubes. A lot of the other stuff in this you might actually have in your house, but one thing you're going to need to do ahead of time is make at least a cup and a half of rice, which you're going to go ahead and have it cooked and ready for when this is ready to go, because we're going to serve our actual peppers and steak over top of that. So go ahead and fix your rice in advance, set it to the side by the instructions on the package, and we're going to start with making a marinade. So we're going to start off with 3/4 cup of water, which we're adding 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar to. I'm going to mix this up a little bit to make sure that all that brown sugar is broken up. So go ahead, I prefer to whisk this to actually make it break up better. Go ahead and work your way through it, make sure it's to that point, and then we're going to go ahead and add 1/4 of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And then to that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Then to that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. And once that's all mixed up, we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of honey. Now once you get your honey into this, go ahead and mix it up a little bit before we add the next ingredient, because we want to make sure that the honey starts to break up into everything that's already in the bowl. And then to this, after it's completely mixed up, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. And then go ahead and mix that in. And once we get this marinade completely done and mixed up, then we'll be ready to actually add our meat to it. So go ahead and stir it around a bit, make sure that there are no large lumps of anything in there. And what you're going to add is a pound of beef. Now, like I said, this doesn't have to be expensive beef. This could be just any kind of cut of beef that you desire to eat. And you don't have to cut it in cubes. I did it in cubes because I like it that way. You could use strips, you could do whatever you want to do to it. And go ahead and add your beef into the marinade, and you're going to let it sit in there. Once it gets all coated and everything is all mixed through, you got all of this marinade all over the beef, you're going to want this to sit for about 2 hours. Or you could leave it overnight if you wanted to. What you want to do is just put some plastic wrap over top of this and put it into like the fridge for, at least 2 hours. I always do it just 2 hours and use it. You could actually do this overnight. It'll be perfectly fine as long as you cover it. And that way this will be set up, it'll have a great flavor in it when you're ready to use it. So next we are going to go on medium-high heat, and I'm using my cast iron skillet with about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and I am going to add to this some onions and peppers. Now here's the thing, you could use 1 medium onion, 1 red bell pepper, 1 green bell pepper if you wanted to, or you could do what I do. I go to the freezer section, I get pepper onion blend, which comes in a bag. It's already mixed together, it's already cut up. The best thing about this is when you buy this bag of pepper onion blend, it costs like 1/3 of what it costs just to buy the bell peppers, because bell peppers for some reason are crazy high in the store. Don't even understand it. But my point being is, if you wanted to just get the pepper onion blend, it's in the freezer section. It's just as good, and you don't have to pay that kind of money to get your peppers. So, and the best thing is you don't even have to cut these up. I mean, if there's some larger pieces, you can break them up, but other than that, you're ready to go. So if you're using the pepper onion blend, I used about 2 cups of it, and we're going to cook this for a few minutes, maybe like 5 minutes. And then once it's cooked, we're going to remove it from the pan and put it on a plate to the side, because we don't want to keep cooking this as we're getting ready to put the beef in, or it's going to overcook the vegetables and they're going to get all like disgusting. You don't want that. So remove them, put them to the side, and then we're going to get ready to put our beef into the pan. So when you're putting your beef in, you're not putting the marinade in there with it. You're just using the beef. So get a slotted spoon, pull out the beef pieces, put them in your pan. Like I said, we're like on a medium-high heat here, so this is going to start working really fast. And you want to make an even layer of them across your pan. You don't want these stacked on top of each other, because what we're going to do is leave them on one side for at least a minute so it sears that side of the beef and it starts really cooking it. And then after that, we're going to stir it up after the 1 minute marker and cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes, just, you know, tossing it around the pan until it starts cooking on other sides as well, because we want to get this kind of browned off. We're not trying to make it totally cook completely. We just want to cook it enough to where it's medium to well done. So go ahead, and after you've gotten that minute marker, stir it around, get it completely cooked off, and everything is browned and what it should be. And then once it is done, we're going to end up removing this and putting it on the plate with the peppers, because we want to take this out because we're going to do something different in just a minute. So as you can see, after you've done this a few times, your beef is starting to brown and it's looking cooked. That's the good thing about it. That's what we want to see. So when it gets to this point, go ahead and remove it, put it on the plate. Do not move the skillet, though. We're going to use this in a second for something else, because we're going to bring back the marinade that we made and use it again. So as you can see, there is still some stuff left in the skillet from where the steak was there. So we're going to bring our marinade over. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to it, whisk it up a little bit, and then we're going to put that into the pan with everything that was already in there. And we're going to actually make this into a sauce that's going to go over the steak and the peppers. So keep stirring it up and then pour it in. And you're going to whisk this around a little bit until it starts to thicken some. And it's not going to take long. So what you probably want to do at this point is turn your heat down to about medium. Keep stirring this as it's thickening up. And when it starts to get thicker, we're going to actually add back in the steak and the peppers. Now, once your steak and peppers have been returned to the skillet, we're going to cook this for about like 3 or 4 minutes just to get everything really coated with what was already in the skillet that we made with the marinade. So keep stirring it up, make sure everything goes through, everything gets mixed together. Again, I'm doing this with a whisk just so I can pull things around and I don't get anything in one place all stuck together with like a spoon or something. I'm just going to whisk this into where all of this sauce is getting all over everything. And after 3 to 4 minutes, then this is where your rice is going to come into play, because we're going to want to use that to serve this. So here is my plate. I already put some rice on it, and I'm going to just spoon this on top. And this is all there is to it. And this has such a great taste because it's not only kind of spicy from the peppers and all the seasoning stuff you put in, but also it's really sweet because it has this really funky sweet taste to it. And really, once you get this put onto your plate, you are pretty much done and ready to eat. Unless you want to find something else you want to eat with it, this is the deal right here. And this is something that it's just a great thing to eat because there's so many flavors mixing in with this, especially with the bell peppers and the onions mixing with the steak. It's just something really terrific to have for a meal. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you get a chance, check out my cookbooks, which are available in bookstores worldwide. The first is about everyday cooking. The second is all about baking. Have a great day.